Hi friends, I am Chaitanya from 10th standard. 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧 is here to throw a light on the burning factor which is prevailing around the world. Friends, before we move into the topic, let us go through an example which is related to our topic. There was a boy called Ravi. He is a resident of Palamuru district. He completed his intermediate in a local college. After completion of intermediate, he moved to Hyderabad for better education. He joined in a reputed engineering college. After completion of engineering, immediately he flew to UK for better employment. Friends, by this example, you can understand that Ravi moved from his village to Hyderabad for better education and from Hyderabad to UK for better employment. Here, the purpose for Ravi's movement is to pursue better than what he has before. Friends, let me know, have you ever been to abroad? Okay, some of you may and some may not been. Friends, why do Ravi decided to live and work in UK? Because if he live and work in UK, he can earn higher income and he can lead a luxurious life compared to Hyderabad. So, Ravi decided to live and work in UK. Friends, by this example, you may understand that this is migration. Friends, do you have any idea about migration? Migration is a movement of people from one place to another with an intentions of settling tentatively or permanently at a new location. Here, Ravi moved from Palamuru to Hyderabad and from Hyderabad to UK to pursue better education and better employment. Here, the purpose of Ravi's movement is to pursue better education and employment. Movement of people must have the purpose. Without purpose, it is not migration. For example, if I move from one village to another village, is it migration? No, because there is no purpose for my movement. So, the movement of people must have the purpose. Friends, have you understand what migration is? Friends, do you know which is the largest migration in the history of world? It is so-called Greater Atlantic Migration. Mass movement of people from Europe to North America. Friends, if you observe the slide, here is the Europe. In 1840, mass movement of people from Europe to North America, and second also took place in the year 1890 from Europe to United States. Between 1890 and 1910, 17 million Europeans entered United States. Friends, have you noticed both the greater movements from Europe only? What could be the reasons for these movements from only Europe? Because Europeans first discovered sea routes to different parts of world. Friends, do you know who discovered sea route to India for the first time? A Portuguese traveler called Vasco da Gama discovered sea route to India for the first time. Friends, these are the two greatest migrations of history's world. Friends, do you know how many types of migrations we have? We have two types of migrations. They are immigration and emigration. Immigration is people coming to our country from foreign countries, and emigration is people moving to other countries from our country. To understand more, look at the slide. Here we can observe people from this country are moving to different countries. They are leaving their own country and moving to different countries. It is called emigration. If people from these other countries will come to this country, it is called immigration. Friends, have you got the difference what immigration and emigration is? Not only these two migrations, we have some other types of migrations along with these two migrations. Let us discuss about some other types of migrations. They are temporary migration, permanent migration, internal migration, international migration, rural to urban migration, urban to rural migration, seasonal migrations, and forced migrations. Let us discuss in detail about these types of migrations one after another. We shall start with temporary migration. Temporary migration is movement of people for the short period of time. Temporary migration is also seasonal migration. Seasonal migration is based on the seasons. We take winter season as an example for seasonal migration. Friends, people from Nepal will come to India during winter season. Friends, what could be the reason for movement of people from Nepal to India during winter season only? Because Nepal is famous for producing woolen products and there will be a great demand for woolen products throughout India during winter season. So, people from Nepal will come to India to sell their products in winter season. After completion of winter season, again they move back to their native land. They don't reside in India permanently. After completion of their work, again they move back to their native land. It is called temporary migration. Permanent migration. It is movement of people from one country to another country in search of better employment or better education. After entering into a foreign country, the person may decide to reside permanently in that country. For example, Ravi moved from Hyderabad to UK for the sake of employment, and after some years, Ravi decides to reside permanently in UK, so that he applies for permanent residency card in UK and he permanently settles in UK. This is called permanent migration. Internal migration. It is movement of people within the country. The people can move at anywhere in that country, but they don't leave their country. For example, Ravi moved from his village to Hyderabad, which is in his country. It is called internal migration. International migration. It is movement of people from one country to a foreign country. Here, Ravi moved from his own country to UK, which is a foreign country. He moved out of his country. It is called international migration. Rural to urban migration. It is movement of people from villages to cities. Here, I am taking my personal life as an example for this. I was born in Vatupalli village, a rural area in Kozhikode district. At that time, there was a paper producing factory near to my village. Friends, do you know how many paper producing factories we have in Telangana state? There are only 2 paper producing factories in Telangana state. One is located at Bhadradri Kottagudem district and another one is at 𝗂𝗽𝗓 district, which is my own district. My father was an employee in that factory, but due to some circumstances, the factory had closed and the production had stopped, so that my father do not have any employment. To survive ourselves, my family moved to Hyderabad in search of employment. Now we are residing at Hyderabad. My father is working in a transport agency and mother is working as a teacher in a private school. This type of movements from villages to cities is called rural to urban migration and urban to rural migration. It happens. It is the movement of people from cities to villages. Friends, do you think people living in cities will move to villages? Yes, this happens when a person who is living in city, if he is in favor of agriculture, it is not possible to cultivate crops in rural area because urban area because he can't find fertile land there. Fertile land is most important for cultivation. He can find fertile land in rural area which is good for cultivation of crops. So the person who is living in city will move to village. And during COVID-19 pandemic, many people from urban areas have moved to rural area to create a relation with non-pollution environment. There was a conscious on health. People moved from urban to rural. It is called urban to rural migration and forced migration. This type of migration happens when during natural disasters like floods, droughts, famines, etc. During these situations, people can't exist their life at that place. So, unwillingly, people leave that place and move to the place where they can lead a happy and secured life. The factors like natural disasters like droughts, famines had forced the people to leave that place. These type of migrations are called forced migrations. Friends, these are the types of migrations. Let us go through what factors make people to migrate. Those are push factors and pull factors. Friends, once observe the slide, what is push factor? Push factors force the people to leave that place and makes the people to leave that place and move somewhere else. And pull factor attracts the people towards them from different places. To understand more about push factors and pull factors, let us go through the slide. Let us see what comes under push factors. Unemployment, lack of safety, lack of services, poverty, crop failure, drought, hazardous and isolation. And pull factors are potential for environment, a safer atmosphere, better services and greater wealth, good food supplies, potential security, loss of natural hazardous and friends and family. These comes under pull factors. Let us take unemployment as push factor and potential employment as the pull factor. If a country fails to provide better employment opportunities, definitely the people will move to the place where they can find better employment. Here, the push factor is unemployment, which forced the people to leave that place, and the pull factor is better employment, has attracted the people towards them. For example, we take the life of Ravi. He moved from Hyderabad to UK for better employment, because if he work in UK, he can earn higher income and he can lead a luxurious life. These factors attracted Ravi towards UK, and the factor unemployment has forced the Ravi to leave that place. And crop failure is also one of the push factor. Crop fails when there is no or less rainfall or there is no fertile land. To cultivate better crops, farmer will move to the place where he can find fertile land and more rainfall. The factor crop failure had forced the farmer to leave that place, and the factor fertile land and more rainfall has attracted the farmer towards it. This is called push factor and pull factor. Friends, have you noticed that the person is influenced by both the push and pull factors? Friends, as the coin has both the sides, we have advantages and disadvantages of migration. Let us go discuss about them. The advantages of migration are job vacancies can be filled, increases economic growth, can benefit locations where the majority of the population is old, additional source of tax for the host country, and new innovations and ideas, favorable economic and cultural impact. Let us discuss about the advantages of migration. When people move to another country, the empty vacancies can be fulfilled. If there are more employees, the production will be more. If there is more production, the country's economic growth will be increased. And people from different countries have different cultures. Here, cultural impact is also one of the advantage for migration. And people share their innovative ideas towards that country, and they invent new inventions in that country, and they develop that country. These are the advantages of migration. Let us discuss about disadvantages of migrations. They are depression of wages, companies may neglect employee benefits, can lead to exploitation and crime rates, strain on public services, displacement of jobs. Migrants take time to adapt a new environment. Friends, when there are more employees, the management may reduce the wages and management may neglect the employee. If the employee is neglected by management, he lost his job. If the employee lost his job, how can he survive, and how can he survive the family which is dependent on him? To survive himself and his family, the employee may interact with criminal activities like exploitation and playing with cards. And when people migrate from their place to another place, the environment will be changed from their place to the new place. So people take more time to adapt that environment. This problem is faced by temporary migrations. In winter season only, people from Nepal will come to India, and India's atmosphere is different compared to Nepal. But Nepal people will try to adapt the environment of India. But at that time of attracting the environment of India, winter season may come to an end. So that again people move back to their native land. And when a family migrates, their children may not get proper education at the new working place of their parents, and the children become dropouts, and this leads to growth of illiteracy rate. And when laborers or unskilled people migrate, they have to live in unhygienic conditions, and they suffer from many health conditions, and accidents may happen at the place of construction. And friends, during COVID-19 pandemic, many migrant people lost their life because of road and train accidents. Friends, during COVID-19 pandemic, many Indian migrant workers faced a lots of hardships. Factories and workplaces are closed due to imposed of lockdown in the country. They faced loss in income, shortage of food, and there was no guarantee for their future. Friends, we saw in the newspaper that many migrant workers started moving back to their home on barefoots with carrying luggages on their shoulders. Due to ban on transport facility, they could not find any means of transportation. 198 migrant people lost their life due to road accidents. And on 11th May 2020, when the whole India was in a sleep, a tragic train accident happened in Aurangabad. A few migrant workers who are working in a steel manufacturing company in Maharashtra are forced to leave that place and go back to their home state Madhya Pradesh. Due to ban on transport facility, after walking 36 kilometers, they took rest on a rail track, hoping that they may get any train to Madhya Pradesh. But unfortunately, a goods train ran over them. In this incident, 16 people lost their lives. It all happened in a flash of a second. How terrible incident it was. According to Right to Information Act, Railway Board declared that during COVID-19 pandemic, 8,700 migrant deaths and 805 people were injured on the rail tracks. Friends, what could be the reason for these many deaths on rail tracks? Because many of migrant workers choose a track route to move back their homes, because train route considered shorter than highway route. Friends, but these types of problems have faced by migrant workers. Friends, can we prevent migrations? We can prevent migrations with some strategies. For educational migrations, government has to extend the number of educational institutions, and for employment, it is time to generate more employment in public as well as private sectors. By these changes, we can observe a tremendous economic growth. By here, I want to conclude with the statement, Save India, Live in India. I feel very grateful and honored to express my gratitude to our beloved Secretary Sir, Sri Ronald Rose Garu, Gurukulam officials, and our regional coordinator, Sri Gangadhar Sir Garu, and for TSAT channel for selecting me and giving this wonderful opportunity to me. I thanks to everyone from the bottom of my heart.